Hello and welcome to this special episode of Herald Cafe. Today we've got a very special guest, Jnanpith Award winner, Bab Damodar Mauzo. Congratulations from all of us, Herald TV and Herald Cafe, and all the Goans, I believe.
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you.
And glad that you got some time to come and talk with us.
My pleasure.
To start with, I want to go back a little bit and ask about your graduation days in Bombay, where you have started writing, and what was the spark, and how did you find out that writing is your ikigai point?
See, right from my younger days, the childhood days, I can say, I had a fancy for listening to stories, and then I became a voracious reader. And over the years, I read plenty of books, starting with Marathi books. Konkani books were not available then. And then just before that, my primary education was into Portuguese and Marathi simultaneously.
Okay.
And then I went to English. So I started with Marathi readings, then went to English. And by the time I reached Mumbai for my graduation, soon after liberation of Goa, 1961 Goa, December Goa was liberated, and within 6 months I went to Mumbai in June for my graduation in commerce. What I realized when I was in Goa, I always felt that Konkani is a language that we speak.
Yes.
It's a spoken language.
Yes.
And then for reading and writing, we use either English, Portuguese or
Marathi. Yes.
So that was the notion. Most of the Hindus they felt that Konkani is a dialect of Marathi.
True.
Which also I carried that notion with me to Mumbai. But once I reached Mumbai, I realized the difference. When you are in Goa, you don't feel that.
The richness of this language.
Yeah, even when I spoke Marathi, the Marathi people sometimes would say, "You are not a Marathi person." Then I had to say, "I am from." Then that is why your Marathi is
accent
not.
is
but
different.
it was literary.
Right.
My Marathi was perfect.
Yeah, because you read from the books.
Yeah, but they never felt that I was one of them. That was one thing. And then I got a book by Shanae Goimba.
Okay.
When I was in Mumbai, and got to read it, and I found, oh wow, you can write in Konkani so well. And then I found that's the language of my expression. And then I started writing. Of course, because I was a voracious reader, I was inspired to write. But once I starting to write, I had to choose the language.
True.
So both English and Marathi were acquired languages.
Yes.
Konkani was my own. And though there was no, I would say, no one to rely upon or no books to learn from.
Yes.
But I thought this is to my advantage, because I can put the bunyad, I would say, the basis for writing for others. So I started writing in Konkani, and I found that I was so much at ease while writing in Konkani.
Your mother tongue.
Yeah.
So from then onwards till now, and of course in your books we always see the smell and feel of Goa, the cultural fabric of Goa, so prominent. It's always there. And now that in the present times we have issues like divisive issues, like for example, take it like insider-outsider conflict. What is your views on it?
As you said, the cultural fabric that you see in my writings, it is true of every writer.
Yes.
If it is a Marathi writer, you will find the Marathi culture in his writings. If he is a Bangla writer, you will see a Bengali culture in that. So naturally it has to come, my culture, my ethos, have to reflect in my writings. And it has happened. There are many issues that we face in Goa.
Yes, we do.
Which sometimes threaten our cultural identity. One of them is insider-outsider. Outsider is, we call it bhaile, or sometimes we call them ghati also.
Yes.
It's a very derogatory term. One thing we should realize, we Goans should realize, that all the migrants that have come to Goa, or whom we call outsiders, they have come to Goa because we need them. You get it? Maybe they also
They
look
will
out for
also
some.
need- yes.
They look out for some prospects. They find better prospects in Goa.
True.
Well, but tomorrow, if all think that no, Goa is not for us, we'll leave, then we will be at loss. So we should think positively about it. Outsiders are here to help us. But again, the outsiders also should remember that when they come to Goa, they should imbibe all the virtues of Goan culture.
True.
They should understand what Goa is first.
Yes.
And they should not impose their language, their culture upon. They can continue to read
Yes.
or write in their language. Now, for example, 400 years back, 500 years back, when Goans left in Exodus,
Yes.
after conversion started, after the Inquisition, they left to other parts of India,
They did,
to
yes.
Karnataka and Kerala. But they retained their language. We are proud of them. So they can also. But then at the same time, many Konkani speakers are excellent Kannada writers. Girish Kannad is a Kannada writer. Ishwant Chittal is a Kannada writer.
Yes.
Even Nadi Souza is a Kannada, Konkani speaker. But they write in Kannada. So they excel there.
Yes.
So similarly, these people should accept the language along with theirs and excel in that. But I am happy that many of my children of migrants who go to school,
Yes.
they learn Konkani.
Yes.
From the ambience, they learn the spoken language. Then they, in textbooks, naturally they offer Konkani as
Yes.
a second language
Yes.
or third language, whatever it is. But they learn it. And if you go through the results, SSC results, you will find many so-called outsiders, many
Yes, excelling
children
in their
of
studies.
migrants
Yes.
excelling in Konkani, scoring highest marks in Konkani. Even I remember on at least one or two occasions, they have scored the highest.
Right.
So, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, we Goans don't realize the value of our language, keep up, because language is a major component of any culture. We tend to forget it. But
Yes.
an insider-outsider issue, we should remember those who have accepted the Goan ethos, those who follow that,
True.
those who have accepted the Goan culture, and of course with the language,
Yes.
we cannot afford to call them as outsiders.
Got it.
Whereas
It's a valid point.
there are Goans who do not speak Konkani, there are Goans who do not accept many cultural traits. They are doubtfully whether they are really Konkani or not, or really Goans or not. This is my view.
Okay.
Of course,
Okay.
you
It's
may
a
find me a little bit, extremist, but then it's true also. You will never find anywhere else except Goa. People would say, no, I don't understand Konkani. I don't understand my language. You will not find in Karnataka. You will not find in Kerala. You will not find in Odisha
True, I
or
got it,
Bengal.
Yes. Talking about that love for Goa,
Yeah.
and you always stood up for a lot of issues, okay, starting from historic opinion poll to in the contemporary times when you get threats. And over these 4 or 5 decades, what is the indicator, what is the marker that you see that in the age of our scientific exploration and critical thinking and a fundamentalism together, it is a bane?
Well, you have mixed up so many things. Let us start with your first issue.
Yeah.
That was you are talking about
Standing up for the cultural rights.
Yes, I think it is the bounden duty of every Goan
Yes.
to stand up against any injustice that is meted out to our people,
Yes.
and also which goes against our culture or even our land.
Yes.
The issues like Madei, of course, everybody has to take it seriously. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
the coal issue, we should not leave it to the Vaspokars to face that menace. As the trains pass and right from in front of my house, I breathe in so much dust of coal. Of course, not because it affects me, but we should think of the people of Goa who also suffer because of this menace. So we have to raise our voice. At least to some extent it can be contained. That is very important for us. And I think we should, and as a writer, I think it is my duty. It is not enough to become a writer. It's also necessary to become a fighter.
Thank you for saying that.
That is as far as your first part of the question was concerned. Then next was
that you stood up and at contemporary times you have to face threats.
Well, it is part of my life. You know, some people think that I am outspoken, I criticize, but criticizing is my right. I exercise it. I exercise it, and I also feel that every writer, it is his duty to write frankly and boldly against the things which are not in favor of our society. Unfortunately, there are many people who, you know, shy away from criticizing, particularly those in dispensation. People in dispensation are our elected people. They have to act for us, for the benefit of Goans. That is why I feel that it's my duty to speak against whatever evil that is happening, but which is not in the interest of Goan society. We have to not, and by Goan only.
Yeah, true.
It's a national issue sometimes, and we have to raise our voice. Unfortunately, even when writers are threatened or assassinated, our own writers just keep mum.
Yeah, why then? My second question is like, why this self-censorship has come up about? Like, you censor your own self.
There is a fear, I think. You know, not all are alike. True. Sometimes you become apprehensive and you fear what will happen to me if I do this, if I write like this. I think we should forget it. What can they do? Maximum. What the threat I got. It was a concealed threat because my name was supposedly it was on the hit list. Okay, even then I got disturbed because I thought, what can they do? Maximum what they can do is kill me. That will only immortalize me.
True.
I'm just not that I want to glorify that, but I mean to say we should stand by truth. That's what I believe.
And I think we're coming to an end of this conversation. And in your Jnanpith award ceremony, our governor said your writings are the reflection, you know, you're showing a reflection to the society, a mirror to the society. On that context, any message for the Goans to own up the narrative?
Well, what our honorable governor said, it's a common statement.
True.
Any literature is a mirror to society. It is said so.
Yes.
But it is not the only thing about literature. Literature is to sensitize the people, not only show the mirror. Yes, it does. Because once if you read some good stories, and if you find something which is not adhered to by yourself, the reader becomes conscious. Yes, I have done something wrong. I should have not have behaved like that before. So he learns lessons from by reading. But at the same time, it goes much beyond that. Literature is a wide term and it has a wide access to many other things. Any art, for that matter, not only literature. But yes, writings is a mirror to society, and society should learn from it. Readers should be also sensitive. The writers build up readers. For that, writers should give such literature where a reader identifies himself with the writings. Once he identifies, he realizes what he is, what is going on around him, and then he is sensitized to it. To others' pains. That is very important. You know, we are finding that people are becoming less and less compassionate.
Yes, empathy is getting less.
So this is what the major role played by literature.
Yeah, also reading is like a asset to the society, that is for sure. Like,
Yeah, but I'll add to it.
Yes, please.
Now that you have
Yeah.
brought up the issue of reading.
Yes.
Recently, I mean, I'm talking about a decade back or more than that probably, people found, a scientific study found, that all these bureaucrats, top bureaucrats,
Yes.
who get through the highest exams, IITN, IIM
Yeah.
pass,
Yes.
and the top bureaucrats of India, they lack the attitude of compassion towards the marginalized. They are less sensitive to marginalized. They are apathetic to the things that are happening at a lowest strata.
It should be opposite.
No,
Like this.
that is
Yeah.
what they found.
Okay.
And they found the reason for it. The reason is they are so studious, they're working so hard to get through the exams that they forget that there is the other aspect of life.
Okay.
And they become good bureaucrats, but they are very bad when it comes to treating the people on the margins. So this is then they realize that's because they don't read. So then there were suggestions. I don't know whether they are implemented now,
Okay.
but at IIM exams, at IITN, so for IITNs and for other bureaucrats, reading good books, particularly fiction,
Yes.
it was recommended. So this is what I want to say, that people get sensitized, they become compassionate, and particularly people in the power.
Yes.
They need it very
True.
much.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not happening.
Yeah, the reading increases compassion and empathy, that is for sure. And any last message for the young Goan writers? Would you like to say something? Some mantra?
I'm not a messenger. I'm not in a position to give messages. But as I can advise,
Yes, please.
from my experience, I can give some advice, particularly to the budding writers,
Yes, please.
and also readers. Firstly, reading habits have to be kept up.
Yes.
You know, fortunately for me, I was a voracious reader, but I was at a loss when it came to choose the books. But I had some peers advising me or teachers advising me, go for this, go for that. And
Okay.
then I did not spend more time on reading trash.
Got it.
So this is why I could lay my hands on the best of literatures of not only of India, of the world. So reading habits, secondly observation.
Okay.
So reading makes you sensitive person.
They do, yes.
Yeah, but then when you observe what is going on around, you realize the diversity that is found among the people, among in their behaviors, and around, even in nature. So, and the thirdly, travel wide. Wide traveling is very, very important. But all during these three, whether you are reading, whether you are observing, or you are traveling, your antenna must be up. Then you get the signals.
Okay.
Then only you can become a better person, a better writer, or a good reader also. So I would advise reading habits have to be, preserved and promoted. And I think it can happen at the institutional level also.
True.
There are libraries in the schools, libraries in some organizations, which are just untouched.
Yes.
And they are proud that books look so nice, well, as if they are new. But I would be happy to see books in the almiras which are soiled,
torn and used
by a lot of people reading it.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me
And
for
thank
this
you
show.
for
Yeah.
and thank you for your time. It's great having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you, audience. The show is over. We will see you again next week. Thank you.